Hey everybody, welcome back to Landshark's Garage. For the next 10 days, Mrs. Landshark and I are taking a vacation from cold 20 below northeast South Dakota to down to Texas, and we're glad you're coming along. We're heading on.
Just about out of Nebraska and nothing's changed. Kansas, looking just like Nebraska.
Pretty cool little place in Linden, Kansas. Old Phillips 66 station. Looks like they converted it to, I don't know, Burns Boys Garage. Look at this. Some old white wrecker truck. That thing is cool. Says a WC22 PLT. Can't really tell what year it is. Let's see. It's got the 150A Super Power 6-cylinder. How cool is that? We got some of the old car wash memorabilia in there. This is Linden, Kansas. It's actually really pretty cool. There's an old Ford hot rod in there. Flags flying. Old Phillips 66 delivery truck. Super cool. Got a little, like a cafe, or like a man cave in there. Ah, that's awesome.
How much do we have left?
We've got 61 miles to go, and we only got 41 miles to go, so we're good.
Well, that's stupid. You'd yell at me if I did that.
I know, I've been doing it the whole trip, though. Just living on the edge, honey. I'm sorry. No. Yeah, probably. It's a pretty neat old rig, isn't it?
It is. I know a guy that actually owns one up in Maine, believe it or not.
Yeah, we're from South Dakota, and there's a guy in town that has a green one like this.
Yeah, his is green too.
Yeah. Look at how they wire tied that so it doesn't unroll by itself. I suppose it's all hydraulic. It's crazy.
That's right. Something else.
Just to let you know, not much has changed. We're halfway across Oklahoma.
It is the same, no matter what road you're on.
Still cloudy, but it is definitely warmer than home.
Imagine doing fuel oil and something like that. Fort Worth Stockyards. Yeah, there's one that looks like Jake over there. That's pretty cool. Big guy here, he sprung a leak Must have had a flexi hose. Oh, the hubcaps are nice. Blankets and winter coats on.
That was great. Hey, Jake wasn't in there.
Jake wasn't in there.
Lindsay.
Pretty hips. It's a python.
It's a
Viper. These guys are big and ugly. What do they call them? Yeah.
Lizards here. They're so cool in the water. Should be a stingray somewhere.
Oh, sure. Fresh new baby at Fort Worth Zoo. 250 pounds when he was born. He's not sure about that water, is he? Giraffes. Got a Land Rover Defender.
boss. Big train. Big train.
Well, there we go, everybody. Back from our trip. Got late, got back in late last night. Spent about 3,000 miles. That's what we put on. You know, we went from northeast South Dakota. We ended up in San Antonio, Texas. Ended up having to leave a little early and go over to Minneapolis. My Uncle Austin passed away, and we went over and spent some time with our family, and then we left from there and made the drive down. Most of the trip, you know, we ended up on interstate on the way down there from Oklahoma City down in through Fort Worth and Austin, Waco, down to San Antonio. I'm not much of an interstate driver. I hate it. I don't like traffic. So it was a little different for me, but got through. Not afraid to drive in traffic. Just I like to see things around me. There was just way too much metro area. We got to keep Starbucks in business. Mrs. Landshark and I are kind of coffee snobs, and I think we visited 10 or 15 Starbucks. We probably visited 3 on the way, but on the last day of our trip, just coming back. It was a nice trip. Temperature's good. We had good food. We had a real good time. We ended up in San Antonio for 3 days. Stayed on the Riverwalk there. So that was awesome. If you ever get a chance to see that, you'll have seen it in the video here. We went to some zoos and took in some sights there. Saw a lot of cars. Didn't always get them on tape, but when the weather's better, you know, you see hot rods out. Texas loves their trucks. Man, there was some nice trucks down there. 2-wheel drives and 4-wheel drives. Lifted trucks. It was crazy. Driving around in the metro area of like San Antonio and Fort Worth, it's just not it for old Napatod. But we made it through. Got where we were going. When we left to come back, we left San Antonio and drove straight north on Highway 281, U.S. Highway 281. We took that back to Enid, Oklahoma. And then from Enid, Oklahoma, we jumped onto 81 and drove that back. And that brought us all the way back to Howard, South Dakota, which is about an hour and a half south of here, 2 hours south of us. And then we just got on a state highway and came up. Worst weather we ran into was about 45 minutes out of home, and we drove in blowing snow back from there. So a few things I took in on this trip was how much I detest being in traffic. But if you're going to travel and drive your own vehicle, it's something you're going to have to deal with. Taking the back roads has always been a thing that we do when we go on road trips, and coming back was a lot more pleasurable trip than driving the interstate down there was. But 281, you get to see a lot more of what Texas looks like to people from South Dakota. You know, Fort Worth, Austin, all the traffic that isn't what I think of when I think of Texas. I kind of think of open spaces and cattle and stuff like that. So it was a good time. The other thing I observed, which is just weird, but the Dodge Challenger has taken the place of like the Buick LeSabre of the 90s, the 95, 96, 97 Buick LeSabre, because everywhere we looked, all we saw was Dodge Challengers, and everybody was driving them. And it's nothing against the Challenger, but you think back and you always seen these Buicks on the road, and always white Buicks and gray Buicks, and then now all I seen was Dodge Challenger. There's another Challenger. There's another Challenger. So saw a lot of neat things. I'm glad you followed along with us. Something different. You know, we were gone 11 days, and we don't usually take trips like that. But I hope you enjoyed this road trip as much as we did. We really appreciate it. Never forget, drive your shit. And if you get a chance to, take the back roads in America and see what's out there. Thanks. We'll see you. Landshark and I are heading from 20 below northeast South Dakota to deep in the heart of Texas. Thanks for coming along.
No.
We're going to have a trip.
No.
This is going to be fun.
No singing.